Next, we're going to talk all about ISV specialists. So this should be near and dear to your side, Pierre. Pierre is an ISV specialist at Google. So we're going to talk more about his role and how to work with them.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, again, right. I am an ISV specialist here at Google, and so what that means is that I have a handful of partners that I work with on a daily basis to help them grow their relationship with Google. And what that means is it can be anywhere from like connecting them to sales teams on active opportunities to helping them connect with executives to talk about how we can do more from a scale perspective. Right. So a lot of the times, you may or may not be assigned an ISV specialist immediately when you start your relationship or partnership with that cloud services provider. It frankly just depends on like what your build is and what your previous relationship looks like with that cloud services provider. But we are I'd say, daily contact for a lot of our partnerships. They'll come to us for everything and anything, and then we direct them and advise them through the ecosystem. Now, you may at times encounter an ISV industry lead, right? Like an ISV specialist and an ISV industry lead are very similar. The difference really is the ISV industry lead sits across usually an industry or a patch or a select vertical, right? So what you want to do when kicking off or starting a relationship with GCP is definitely make that ISV specialist your primary point of contact and leverage them for all that they can do. But in addition to that, form a strategy for how you can get connected to other ISV industry leads, right? These ISV industry leads are usually really well embedded in a specific industry or in a specific team. So what they'll be able to do is really share insights in regards to like maybe account alignment. Which accounts would be the best for us to align on? Which ones are the top customers that we should be prospecting to or selling into in this specific industry? Right. So again, the message here is the ISV specialist is great, not patting myself on the back,
You
but there
should.
are other individuals as well that are excellent resources for you to be connecting with, and one of them is an ISV industry lead.
Be a good example. So say you're in the retail industry and you have an ISV specialist and you've been, kind of interacting briefly with an ISV industry lead. Say I'm in retail and I want to move into a peripheral industry or the next thing that complements our business. What do you suggest that an ISV should do with their ISV specialist and with their industry lead?
That's a really good question, and I only laugh because I get asked this question a ton by a bunch of different partners, right? So what I did previously at my previous organization, and what I've done with some of my partners is it's really about focus, right? Because
Mhm.
you
Definitely.
study this relationship off, you want to like do everything, but it's really about focus. So focusing on the industries where you play best, right? Like where is your ideal industry today? Where have you found the most success? Hammering down on that and making sure that you know every single rep in that industry, you're connected to the ISV industry lead, and then you're connected to leaders in that industry as well. In addition to like industry specific verticals, we've also got geo specific verticals that have different types of industry accounts in them. So an idea could be to not only sell into that specific industry and hammer down away, but go into a geo as well who have retail accounts and then taking the industry message that you had and then bringing it to the geo. But if you're looking to specifically move from industry to industry, right, I would leverage the industry leads again. If you've got a good connection with the retail industry lead, leverage that person and say, hey, I think we've got a pretty good use case for financial services, for example. Do you know who the financial services industry lead is? And would you be willing to connect me? Now, that retail industry person should be willing to connect you, but in order to make the connection more compelling, what I advise a lot of my partners to do is take your best customer in your marquee industry and then do like a one sheet of what you all are providing for them today and how that use case translates into that industry that you're trying to move into. That way, then when that industry ISV lead takes that message over to the FSI industry lead, it's a lot more compelling. It's a lot easier, and we understand the why behind the what.
Love that. So you're saying too, like, this is a perfect time to showcase your key relationships at an account and maybe flex that a little bit with someone who's been looking for an introduction to the CMO or chief procurement officer. Not everybody's going to know everybody. That's why we're doing this webinar for Google. So you want to take your relationships and see how you can also help Google break into a different industry or land and expand based on what you guys already might be working in.
Yeah, 100%. And the industry ISV leads and the ISV specialists should be doing like account mapping to help out with that, right? To figure out where the green space is for the cloud services provider, where the ISV might be able to help, or vice versa.